12 Quiet Habits That Push People Away After 70, and How to Age with Grace. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Mark Twain, dear friends, welcome to a conversation that honors the beautiful journey of aging. As we navigate our golden years, we sometimes develop habits that quietly distance us from those we love most. Today, we explore 12 gentle truths that can transform how we connect with the world around us. Before we begin, if you find value in this message, please subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom Channel, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and like this video. Your engagement helps us reach more hearts and build a community of wisdom and support. The mirror of self-care, honoring yourself through daily rituals. There is a profound truth that Eleanor Roosevelt once shared. How we present ourselves reflects how we feel about ourselves. When Martha, at 75, noticed her daughter sitting farther away during visits, she didn't understand why until a neighbor gently mentioned her unkempt appearance. That moment of awareness changed everything. Self-care isn't vanity, it's self-respect. A clean shirt, brushed hair, and trimmed nails whisper to the world that you still honor the person you've become. When you care for yourself, you invite others to care for you with the same tenderness and dignity you deserve. The power of thoughtful words. Speaking with wisdom and compassion, words carry weight, especially when seasoned with decades of experience. Robert, an 82-year-old grandfather, wondered why his grandchildren's calls became shorter until his son revealed that his blunt remarks had been hurting feelings. Honesty without kindness becomes a barrier, not a bridge. The wisdom you've earned deserves to be wrapped in gentleness. Before speaking, pause and ask yourself if your words build connection or create distance. True strength lies not in saying everything you think, but in choosing words that honor both truth and love. Dressing your story, wearing your present, not your past. Maya Angelou taught us that people will forget what you said, but never how you made them feel. When 70-year-old James started wearing clothes that fit his current self, rather than clinging to styles from decades past, he noticed something remarkable. People engaged with him differently, treating him with renewed respect and warmth. Your clothing tells a story about how you see yourself today. Well-fitting garments that reflect care aren't about fashion, they're about presence. When you dress with intention, you signal to the world that you're still here, still engaged, still worthy of dignity and admiration. The gift of listening, creating space for others to shine. There's an old proverb that says we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Dorothy, at 88, realized she'd been dominating conversations with her stories and advice, not noticing how her children had grown quiet. When she began asking questions and truly listening, something beautiful happened. Her family started seeking her wisdom again. The greatest gift you can offer is your full attention. When you create space for others to express themselves, you don't lose influence, you gain it. People don't need lectures. They need to feel heard, valued, and understood by someone who has traveled life's path before them. Bridging generations with curiosity, finding connection across time. Viktor Frankl wrote that between stimulus and response lies our power to choose. When 90-year-old Helen stopped criticizing kids these days and started asking her teenage great-grandson about his world, she discovered a fascinating universe she'd been missing. Their relationship transformed from distant to deeply connected. Every generation faces unique challenges that previous generations cannot fully understand. Instead of comparing then to now, try embracing curiosity over judgment. When you approach younger people with genuine interest rather than criticism, you become the elder they admire and seek out, not the one they politely avoid. Moving through the world with awareness, the grace of mindful presence. Lao Tzu taught that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step must be taken with awareness. When 78-year-old George began noticing how his movements affected others in shared spaces, adjusting his pace and position thoughtfully, strangers started smiling at him more warmly. Slowing down is natural and beautiful, but awareness remains a choice. Moving through grocery aisles, sidewalks, and public spaces with consideration for others shows that your spirit remains engaged and thoughtful. This quiet grace speaks volumes about the person you've always been and continue to be. Balancing sharing and connection. When to speak of struggles, Buddha said that suffering is inevitable, but how we carry it is our choice. When 85-year-old Patricia noticed her friends making excuses to cut visits short, she realized every conversation had become a medical report. She learned to share her challenges when asked, but also to speak of beauty, the cardinal at her window, the book that moved her. Your life contains multitudes beyond your physical challenges. People want to connect with your spirit, not just your symptoms. When you balance honesty about difficulties with celebration of small joys, you lift both yourself and those around you, creating relationships built on connection rather than caretaking. The strength of staying open, growing. Through humility and wonder, Socrates declared that true wisdom begins with knowing we don't know everything. When 92-year-old William told his great-niece, "Tell me more about what that means to you," instead of dismissing her modern perspective, their conversation opened doors he'd thought were closed. His willingness to learn brought unexpected joy and relevance to his final years. Your value doesn't diminish when you admit you're still learning. It grows. The world has changed, and some of those changes carry wisdom you haven't yet encountered. When you approach new ideas with curiosity rather than resistance, you remain vibrant, relevant, and deeply connected to the unfolding story of humanity. Your legacy of grace. Dear friends, these reflections aren't meant to criticize, but to illuminate. Each of us carries blind spots that develop quietly over time. The true measure of character is avoiding mistakes, having the courage to see them clearly and the strength to evolve, even in our golden years. You've lived through extraordinary times and accumulated wisdom that younger generations desperately need. But that wisdom lands most powerfully when delivered with humility, wrapped in kindness, and offered through genuine connection. Small adjustments in how you care for yourself, speak to others, and move through the world can transform how people experience you, and more importantly, how you experience this precious time of life. Remember, aging well isn't about clinging to youth or the past. It's about stepping into each day with self-awareness, dignity, and an open heart. You have the power to be a source of warmth, wisdom, and inspiration in the lives of those around you. That's a gift worth giving every single day. We'd love to hear from you. What resonated most with you today? Share your story in the comments below. Your words might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. Let's build a community where we lift each other up, share our wisdom, and walk this beautiful journey together. If this message touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom Channel for more conversations that honor the art of aging gracefully. Until next time, may you walk in dignity, speak with love, and live with purpose. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln.